background get 2 years in prison.
A husband seeking justice.
The accident happened at 3:45, and she died about 8:30.
And a system, they say, that resolved their cases without warning.
It is a Florida law. Victims of a crime have a right to know when their case is headed to court and how it's resolved.
So imagine how some victims must feel when they learn their cases are being decided without warning. In tonight's special assignment report, the 19's Patrick Frazier shows us how the legal system let them down.
Osvaldo Pino's life came to a crashing end on the Florida Turnpike.
Every day, you know, I am so lonely, I just want to die.
That May afternoon, a speeding driver slammed into his car. The love of his life, Lourdes, his wife for 40 years, was killed.
They say in the report that I was very confused, only asking for my wife,
Without Lourdes to turn to, Osvaldo turned his attention to the woman who took her life.
I just want justice.
The woman was only ticketed for careless driving. A court hearing was held on August 25th, but no one told Osvaldo.
I wasn't notified of the hearing.
The woman who killed his wife walked out of court a free person. Osvaldo wasn't there, and the trooper in charge of the case didn't even bother to show up.
It was dismissed based on the fact that the police officer never showed to the hearing.
That infuriates Osvaldo and his attorney, who say in this case the victim was forgotten and ignored.
My feeling is that justice was not served for him because he lost his spouse.
Sadly, Osvaldo is not alone.
I'm left out to defend myself, actually, or wait till he comes after me.
Last December, Victoria's ex-boyfriend set her house on fire with her kids inside.
My cell phone rings, and he said, "Oh, I just passed your house and it's on fire."
Victoria and her children got out safely, but Christopher Williams did not stop at arson. As police searched for him, he sent Victoria a message.
"When I find I'm gonna kill that bitch. When I find I'm gonna kill her."
When police tracked Williams down, he was charged with attempted murder, arson, and stalking.
One of the prosecutors told me that arson alone is 15 years, and with his background, you know, it could be even longer.
But then Victoria found out Williams had worked out a deal and only got 2 years. Victoria says the prosecutor told her they came to the agreement after a call from Victoria, a call she says she never made.
I said, with no verification, you just took the word of someone that called.
Victoria suspects a friend of Williams made the call pretending to be her, and now she's terrified of what he'll do when he gets out of jail in 2 years.
This is a man that tried to kill me and my kids. I say I'm very unhappy. The system did not work for me. It worked for him.
It's not supposed to be that way, and what happened to Victoria and Osvaldo shouldn't happen to any crime victim. Police or prosecutors are supposed to keep them informed of the criminal proceedings, but if they forget or choose not to, nothing happens.
There's no recourse for victims if the government agency does not do their job.
Jason Turchin is an attorney for crime victims. He says while the prosecutors are supposed to notify the victims of court hearings, they can drop the charges or work out a deal without the victim's consent. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office would not talk to us on camera, but the prosecutor sent this email. She says Victoria approached her after an early court hearing saying, quote, charges against Christopher Williams should be dropped. She admits in her email she did place 2 calls to Mrs. Bruton to discuss the plea offer, but she says Victoria did not return my calls before the court date, so she proceeded with the plea. Victoria says she never asked for a lighter sentence. In proof, she says the state attorney's office called her to apologize for not contacting her before the plea agreement was reached. Osvaldo's case was even stranger. A highway patrol spokesman in Orlando told us they didn't go to court on purpose because they wanted to issue a new citation for a more serious charge. But so far, a judge has not allowed the new charge. Osvaldo was never told about any of this.
That's not fair to him.
And Victoria's convinced what happened to her was not fair either. She is also convinced when Williams gets out of jail in just 2 years, he'll once again come after her.
If something happens to me, it is the fault of the state attorney's office.
And this time, no one can say it came without warning. Patrick Frazier, 7 News.